You actually seen Nas the same day Ether dropped, right? Tell me about that. And you was in the club with Jay-Z when a DJ played Ether, right?
The day I did Golden Child in New York. So I had to go to D&D, which is closed now in New York, with DJ Premier. Um, I heard the record. The mixtape came out. They played it on the radio. I went to the barbershop. Came back from I went to the barbershop from my hotel, Lower East Side. Then I went to the studio. Got to the studio. Premier was there, and it was the topic of the day just between me and Preem. So he's like, "Yo, did you hear it?" And I felt like this is when two-way Motorola two-way pagers still existed. Because I remember I texted my A&R in LA, and I said, Nas just dropped this Ether record and the shit kind of crazy, and he may have won. And everybody back on the West was like, no. I was like, nah, dude. I'm telling you, I'm like in the streets of New York right now, and Nas might have won. This shit crazy. And yeah, um, we're in D&D talking about it. It's not too. It's pretty early. Couldn't be much more than 10 a.m., 11 a.m. And then Nas bops in. I remember Nas. He comes in. He's bopping. He's usually very chill. Like, yo, peace. That's just every time I've encountered him, he's very um, like humble, nice. Not that he wasn't humble. Still, he had a little more umph in his step. He was like bopping. He was like, yeah. He walked in, kind of chilling. I was like, oh shit. So he had a session next door for Don Diva magazine, and I remember, yeah, for like an hour, me, him, and Premier talking, and it was just kind of the overview of the record. And he's just like, he's like, yo, Flex played it 3 times, da 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 da. I was like, yo, I was in the shop. I was at the Lower East Side, and everybody was Jay-Z fans. Like, you might have one fan, but, because, at the time, Jay was crushing everything. And it was just very interesting watching, like, the changing of guards. Because I remember all the Spanish kids at the barbershop, like, they was trying to hold on to, like, nah, Jay got it. And then niggas like, nah, but this shit crazy. And then Flex played it, and I just, I and I knew some of the things that that Nas was saying. I don't even know all of it. As far as some of the personal jabs in that record. Um, I lived with Jay Z for a summer, so yeah, I just knew that it was clinically written deadly. It was a deadly written personal record. And the ironic part is that I saw Nas during the day at the studio. He left. He went into his session, and then I worked on Golden Child with DJ Premier. And then at night I went out to the club. Me and Wise, my homeboy from a group that was signed to Rockefeller called the Rangers. So we went out and saw Jay and Dame at the club. We went into the club because I met this chick. That's hilarious. This long story, but I went to that. All went into that club. We were sitting at a table next to David Justice, and it was this pretty chick dancing on the table. I would later know who she would be later, but they played Ether in the club, and Jay was heated, and I remember that. I just remember he sent Dame like, "Yo, tell that nigga to turn that shit off." But the club was going up, and that's when I knew it was over. And the DJ was not. He was like, "Fuck that," and he played that shit. And the club went up, and that's when I knew Nas won. I like the streets had spoken. Like the DJ played it, the chicks, the Nick, and Jay was in the building. It's kind of like when I knew when 50 got Nas. I remember when they didn't play in the club. They played the skit that 50 made making fun of Ja Rule of Ja Rule does duets with Mariah Carey, and it's, oh, it's Ja Rule. I'm singing it, and then it's like Ja Rule even does skits with himself. It's me. Are you Ja Rule? So they like when I heard that in the club, like playing the skit, you know it's a rap. Like, ah man, it's over. Like when the club enjoys your skits too, you're done. And so, that's when I knew like that's when I knew Nas beat Jay. And I just call those like Barter moments. Like who I would have never thought waking up. I mean, first of all, I was already living one of my bucket list dreams. I'm getting to do this song with DJ Premier. I didn't wake up that morning thinking I'm gonna see Nas the day he drops a diss song on Jay Z, and then I'm gonna see Jay Z that night as the song is played and watch the reaction. We couldn't have called that audible. I'm not in the A list of all the, Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? I don't get invited to the Oscars and all the cool kid parties because I didn't sell all the records. So I only get the Barnum experiences, but sometimes those are fine too.